With so many dual screen handhelds coming out, it's hard to decide which one is right for you or if an old 3DS is the best option. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the AYN Thor, the ANBERNIC DS, and of course Nintendo's 3DS to determine what is the best dual screen handheld to get in 2026. Now, before we dive in, of course, there are some other dual screen gaming handhelds out there. These are just three of the most popular, and these are the three I have and I've had the opportunity to play with. And of course, everything in this video is my opinion. Your opinion might be different, and just because I think one device is better doesn't mean you have to. So let's hop into it. One of the biggest factors when purchasing a new console is, of course, the price. And the AYN Thor is the most expensive option of these three, with the cheapest version starting at $250 and the most expensive going all the way up to $450. Now, behind that comes the 3DS, which honestly, depending on the model you get and if you buy it used or new, can vary anywhere from $100 to a couple hundred. And then the ANBERNIC DS, which lastly retails for about $100. Another important thing to note is that if you are interested in playing 3DS games, the ANBERNIC DS is probably not the right option for you. It's intended for original DS games and does not really have the power to support 3DS titles. Maybe a few low power requiring ones here and there, but you're really not going to take advantage of the whole library on it. One notable thing about the ANBERNIC DS and the 3DS is their purchase, pick up, and play capabilities. You can get these consoles, open them out of the box, and essentially play them within minutes. Of course, if you're planning on modding your 3DS, which we will talk more about later in this video, it might take a little bit longer, but realistically, you will get both of these things up and running with the games you want in less than an hour. Whereas the AYN Thor probably took me a couple days to set up, get all of my games moved over to, and have everything, figured out the way I like it. It's definitely a harder thing to set up. It comes essentially as just an Android device, and all of the preparation is on you. I ended up watching about an hour and a half long video. It probably took me about 3 hours to really get it originally set up, and even to this day I'm still tinkering with it and changing things, adding things, whereas I really haven't messed with these two. Now, while the main purpose of this video is talking about the dual screen gaming capabilities of these devices, it is important to note that the AYN Thor has so much more potential than that. This game has the capability to emulate all the way up to your Nintendo Switch games, of course the ones that you already own and you've dumped onto this device, but also it's a completely open source Android system, meaning you can download apps like Discord, you can watch YouTube, and you can utilize the device essentially like an iPhone. While the ANBERNIC DS is also an Android device, it actually does not have a Google Play Store and has no Google Online support, not even having actual Chrome, but instead being replaced by Chromium, which works the same but does not allow you to use any of Android's Google Play services. What this means is you really can't download any front ends, any apps, anything from the Google Play Store, and you're basically limited to what is already on the device on purchase, which thankfully is pretty much any emulator you would ever need. Now back to what we were talking about earlier, the 3DS could be quite a big investment if you don't already own a lot of 3DS games that you want to play on a micro SD card somewhere in your house. However, if you do happen to have a micro SD card somewhere in your house full of legally obtained 3DS games, this is a pretty good option. You also can play DS games on the 3DS, so really these two are looking at both dual screen game libraries, where this one again is limited to just the DS. An important question to bring up is, if you already have a 3DS, do you need to purchase one of these devices? And the answer is absolutely not. Unless you value the upscaling of the AYN Thor, you really don't need to. Another really important point here is the form factor of these devices. As someone that has bigger hands, the 3DS is a little bit uncomfortable to hold, especially for games that require both hands at the same time. However, when I'm playing a game like WarioWare and I can hold the device with just one hand, use a stylus on the screen, it's not bad. But the AYN Thor's form factor is unimaginably more comfortable, especially with the backside having these nice grooves. It's great. The ANBERNIC DS, on the other hand, is pretty similar to like a DSi. It's just flat on the back. It's not horrible, and its size definitely helps, but for extended playtime, it's it's not going to be as great. Now, in terms of battery life, the AYN Thor again prevails. I normally get at least 8 hours of playtime out of this thing, give or take, depending on the games I'm playing. The 3DS is up there too. I definitely get a good amount of playtime on this thing, and I feel like I charge it way less than I should. The ANBERNIC DS doesn't have a horrible battery life, but I do find myself charging it almost every other day when I do play it consistently. I've honestly only had it for a couple days now, and I've already charged it twice. So not as good, especially for a console that I really only play a couple hours at a time. So when talking about what the best dual screen console to get in 2026 is, for me, the undeniable choice is the AYN Thor. If you have the money to spend, it's phenomenal. You really won't go wrong with it, and you won't be wishing that you got something else instead of it. However, I do acknowledge that the investment needed for this might not really be logical for all people. So the ANBERNIC DS is also a great option, especially if you're really only interested in playing those DS games for about $100. Lastly, the 3DS is amazing. If you already own a 3DS, there's really no need to buy these consoles, and this still holds up great today. Even if you love original hardware, this could be the right option for you if you can find one at a good deal, especially with those new 3DSs, new 3DS XL. Of course, this is the original 3DS, so it does lack some features, it lacks some size, it lacks some comfortability, but nonetheless still a great option. Yes, with all that being said, if you're looking for an emulator that not only works perfectly with all your dual screen games, but also has the capabilities to play almost anything else that any other emulator can, and will certainly last you a long time without needing an upgrade, a higher end model of the AYN Thor is certainly the way to go. If you don't have the budget and you would end up buying a light version of the AYN Thor, it might be worth it to save some money, get a nicer model, or invest in an ANBERNIC DS or a 3DS instead, especially when you can find a tutorial online how to legally dump all of your games. Let me know down in the comments what your opinion on these three devices is, if you have any, if you want any, and which one you think is the best to buy now in 2026. Thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that if you're not sure which decision to make here, this video might have helped you out a little bit.